So tell me about when this news broke out, how was it like in Telenor and how people react?
I think for any company, this starts a period of great uncertainty. And anxiety comes when you start looking too much into the future.
What was your management style? What was your communication style with the teams? What message did you give to them? Calm them down.
And communicate what you know, and also communicate what you don't know.
In those times, what did you internally feel as a leader?
To me, it all starts from the belief.
Did you ever have a doubt in your mind you may lose your job as well?
If you frankly ask me, I never worry about job.
How do you value the people who did not shy away from the transition?
If people are not growing professionally, good people will not stay.
What mindset has helped you most while navigating uncertainty and transformation in leadership?
Look at possibilities, not at limitations.
My question is it like your personal passion or is it Telenor was pushing into it?
This is part of the Telenor, and this is also my personal passion.
What do you think? How did you feel at that point in time? What was the passion in the team and what drove that to success?
And when things go wrong, you don't reprimand the people, but you will try to find what went wrong, how it went wrong, and then you don't repeat the same mistake. So that's very important.
You have been associated with the brand for about 2 decades, like we were talking about. So how do you personally feel about the brand leaving Pakistan now? So how do you personally feel about that?
When you drive the car, you don't look in the back view mirror. If you keep looking in the back view mirror, you will bang the car.
Any particular project that you look back to and you feel very proud of?
No, I'm still looking for something.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, अली शाह हियर। वेलकम बैक। एक ज़बरदस्त एक्साइटिंग एपिसोड आपके लिए लेके आए हैं फायरसाइड चैट की। पर्पस इसका सिर्फ ये है कि हम मिलके बैठें, कुछ गपशप शेयर करें आपके साथ, कुछ इनसाइट्स शेयर करें, और इसीलिए आई वुड अप्रिशिएट कि हमारे चैनल को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें। एएस पीपल को, इट्स अ न्यू चैनल, वी नीड योर सपोर्ट। एंड ऑल्सो एएस पीपल लिंक्डइन पे भी पेज है, इसको भी ज़रा आप काइंडली शेयर कर लें। आज की एपिसोड बड़ी स्पेशल होने जा रही है क्योंकि मेरे साथ जो गेस्ट हैं, जो काफ़ी एंटिसिपेशन हमने क्रिएट कर दी थी लिंक्डइन पे, सोशल मीडिया पे, सो वो हैं जिन्होंने टेलेनॉर के अर्ली डेज़ में टेलेनॉर को ज्वाइन किया, एंड वन ऑफ दोज हु वर अर्ली एम्प्लॉयज़ ऑफ टेलेनॉर पाकिस्तान। और उसके बाद उन्होंने बड़े ही डिफरेंट अप्स एंड डाउन्स देखे, टेलेनॉर के अच्छे टाइम्स देखे, और उसके बाद एक फेज़ ऐसी आई जिसमें टेलेनॉर वाज अप फॉर ग्रैब्स। उसके बाद टेलेनॉर पाकिस्तान वाज सोल्ड टू यूफोन PTCL ग्रुप। इन्होंने सारी ये ट्रांजिशन देखी, इन्होंने ये ट्रांजिशन मैनेज की एज इंटरिम CEO ऑफ टेलेनॉर पाकिस्तान। सो मेरे साथ इस वक्त मौजूद हैं अवैस वोहरा, और इसके अलावा हमारे पास ऑडियंस है जो कि क्वाइट डाइवर्स मिक्स ऑफ पीपल, एंड आई अप्रिशिएट, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर टू ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस टुडे। अस्सलाम वालेकुम अवैस, कैसे हैं आप?
वालेकुम सलाम, अल्लाह का शुक्र, गुड टू बी हियर।
थैंक यू सो मच। सो अवैस, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टेक मी बैक इन टाइम। अपने बारे में बताएंगे अवैस, हु इज़ अवैस, और थोड़ा सा टेलेनॉर के अर्ली डेज के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताएं।
बिल्कुल, आई एम बेसिकली इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर। आई स्टार्टेड माई करियर समवेयर बैक इन 99-2000, सो ओल्ड डायनासोर, been in this industry for a long time now. I joined Telenor before the commercial launch. I was there as the early employees. I was there when the first test call was made. I was there when the first commercial call was made, and it was inaugurated back then by President of Pakistan, and seen this company grow from one customer to what we are today. I've been in Telenor for a while, started in 2004. Then I also moved out to Scandinavia in 2013-14, came back. Then I moved out of Telenor in 2018 and 19, and then joined back Telenor in 2020. It has been an amazing journey. It has been a journey full of fun, full of accomplishment, and also, like you said, lots of ups and downs, which is part of the business.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit about the early days. What is the fondest memory that you have of good old days?
I think the early days were like this, that Telenor came here with the very open culture where everybody used to sit in big halls. Nobody has any fixed table or chair. So in early days when I joined, it was a temporary office, and there were chairs और कुर्सियाँ भी थी जो शादी वाली होती, So when we used to sit there and आप किसी काम से उठ के गए हैं and your chair would be gone. And then you come back and you have to see कौन उठ के जा रहा है उसकी आपको chair grab करनी है. So we started from absolutely scratch. So we built a greenfield company from scratch. So there were lots of ups and downs. There were lots of things to learn. The fondest memory is that the relationships that we cultivated last still till this date. There are colleagues, there are friends who have gone through a lot of ups and downs. There was a time when we were adding 1 million customers a month. So you can imagine the pace at which we were growing. So in the end, it's the relationship that we cultivated, even though people have moved out, but the relationships still remain intact.
Excellent. No, that's a very key insight, because relationships, I think, is the most important thing that matters. Whatever we learn, wherever we go, we cultivate these relationships. Personally, I prioritize them above everything. So tell me about when this news broke out. How was it like in Telenor and Telenor Pakistan, and how people react? What was the environment like when it was told that you're going to be acquired by another company?
Yeah, I think for any company, this starts a period of great uncertainty. When companies are sold or companies are acquired or companies are merged together, there is a great uncertainty. People are uncertain about their own future. People are uncertain about what is going to be the direction. People are not sure how the next months, weeks, and years will pan out. So there was a great anxiety, great uncertainty, and everybody wants to find an answer. And uncertainty inherently exists because there are no answers. And there are lots of things which are unknown. I often give this example that when you are constructing a house, the very first thing you do is go and get your house plan. But when you furnish a house, you need furniture, you need curtains. So if you start thinking about what curtains you are going to put in the bedroom, what kind of furniture you will have at the time when you are getting the house plans approved, those questions are very, very important, but they will never be answered. Because as you go along, you will require a contractor who will build, and then the furnishing will start. At the end, the curtains and the furniture will come. And if you start asking those questions in the beginning, you will not get answers, and you will get more and more anxious. And anxiety comes when you start looking too much into the future. And in future, you don't have the answers. Then the anxiety will come. Naturally, coming back, everybody was very, very anxious. Everybody wanted to know what their role will be. Will they have a role or will not have a role? How the transition will take place and what will be the end picture. And like I said, that when this gets signed in any transaction, you never get these answers. So anxiety was very, very high.
So were there any layoffs as well?
No, there were not layoffs.
Right. So in such scenario, what was your management style? What was your communication style with the teams? What message did you give to them to calm them down?
I think in any circumstances, especially when the uncertainty is there, is to be very open and very transparent. And communicate what you know, and also communicate what you don't know. And then you have to walk the talk. That's also very, very important. If you ask people to remain motivated and your head and shoulder are down, people see your body language. They don't listen to what you say. The second and most important thing is that how you still keep contributing the productive work. What motivates people, what motivates the whole group is that how you are still contributing with your productive work. If the productive work is there, people see the results, then they start focusing on the job at hand. So the message was very, very clear. Yes, this is what is this is what it is, where we will be acquired. There will be period of uncertainty. We will not have all the answers. As we go along, more and more questions will be answered, and as answers become available, we'll share transparently, and we'll share what we know, and we will also share what we don't know. And one thing that I particularly talk to my people is that I'm not going to speculate. So there's a lot of thing which is happening all around us. Speculation बहुत ज़्यादा थी. So I will not comment on speculation, but when something becomes concrete, we'll let you know. And the answers we don't have, we'll also let you. Meanwhile, we will continue to serve our customers. We are being acquired because the acquiring party values our customers. Acquiring party values the talent. So if we don't concentrate on the work that we do, if we don't create the value, it is not going to be good for the customers. It's not going to be good for the people who work here. So have a very concrete focus, sharp focus on the job at hand, and then the job, make it as meaningful as possible. And anxiety comes when you start looking too much into the future. And in future, you don't have the answers. Then the anxiety will come. Naturally, coming back, everybody was very, very anxious. Everybody wanted to know what their role will be. Will they have a role or will not have a role? How the transition will take place and what will be the end picture. And like I said, that when this gets signed in any transaction, you never get these answers. So anxiety was very, very high.
So were there any layoffs as well?
No, there were not layoffs.
Right. So in such scenario, what was your management style? What was your communication style with the teams? What message did you give to them? Calm them down.
I think in any circumstances, especially when the uncertainty is there, is to be very open and very transparent, and communicate what you know, and also communicate what you don't know. And then you have to walk the talk. That's also very, very important. If you ask people to remain motivated and your head and shoulder are down, people see your body language. They don't listen to what you say. The second and most important thing is that how you still keep contributing the productive work. What motivates people, what motivates the whole group is that how you are still contributing with your productive work. If the productive work is there, people see the results, then they start focusing on the job at hand. So the message was very, very clear. Yes, this is what is, this is what it is, where we will be acquired. There will be period of uncertainty. We will not have all the answers. As we go along, more and more questions will be answered, and as answers become available, we'll share transparently, and we'll share what we know, and we will also share what we don't know. And one thing that I particularly talk to my people is that I'm not going to speculate. So there's a lot of thing which is happening all around us. Speculation बहुत ज़्यादा थी. So I will not comment on speculation, but when something becomes concrete, we'll let you know. And the answers we don't have, we'll also let you know. Meanwhile, we will continue to serve our customers. We are being acquired because the acquiring party values our customers. Acquiring party values the talent. So if we don't concentrate on the work that we do, if we don't create the value, it is not going to be good for the customers. It's not going to be good for the people who work here. So have a very concrete focus, sharp focus on the job at hand, and then the job, make it as meaningful as possible.
You said it very right. If you're trying to motivate people and you yourself really demotivated, so in those times, what did you internally feel as a leader? You have to come strong. You have to be really transparent to people. What were your feelings in those early days when this merger or acquisition is announced?
To me, it all starts from the belief. If the belief is not there, you can fake it. You can do acting for a short while, but then people see through. What was the belief? Belief was that this is a great company. The talent is great. There are still a lot of challenges, business problems that we have to solve. And those business challenges and problems are not going to help us in the short and medium term, but also going to help us in the long term. So what are those challenges? What are those opportunities? And we did not look for silver bullet. We looked for small opportunities. So what are those challenges? What are those opportunities? And we did not look for silver bullet. We looked for small opportunities here and there, and then try to make, combining them together, try to make them big. So we, whatever investments we had available, we sat down and we tried to figure out where it will make the maximum sense, where it will make the maximum sense for the shareholder, where it will make maximum sense for the customers. How do we multiply the investments that we are doing? And when people started seeing that this is helping the customer, this is still helping us grow financially, this is also giving the return back to the shareholder, they started believing. And once you are in that cycle where you kind of, do something, you see a positive outcome coming out, then your belief starts improving. The people around you, they also start seeing that you are making positive strides in the right direction. And then the anxiety level starts easing out.
So what was the communication from Telenor Group to Telenor Pakistan in those days?
I think Telenor Group has been very, very supportive during these years. Wherever we needed investments, they gave up the investments. They supported in all areas, HR, technology, commercial, every area they supported, and they kept supporting us till the last minute. And I think their role has been very, very constructive. Telenor Group has gone through this merger and acquisition in a lot of areas. They have a lot of expertise and experience, and they kept supporting us, like I said.
Okay. And what about when you guys went through this transition, personally yourself, in your own, did you ever have a doubt in your mind that you may lose your job as well?
If you frankly ask me, I never worry about job. Because what I tell people also, even if you lose your job, this is not the end of the world. And if you have competence, you have faith in your ability, you will eventually land somewhere. So I rarely think about these things. What I'm more thinking about is that how the next day can be better from the previous day. How you can make it meaningful for yourself and how you can make it meaningful for the, your employees, your stakeholder, and also your customers. So if you are not thinking too much into future, the anxiety level goes down. And when we will cross the bridge, we will see what will happen.
How did did you have any change in your management style when this was announced? And then I believe you have been traveling to the whole country to meet your teams. Was there something new that you started that I came to know of, or you're already doing it in the past as well?
Already doing it, but when there is uncertainty, when there is this transition happening, leaders have to make themselves more available to the people. So that is something that not myself, but all people also starting doing it. Traveling more often, seeing people more face to face, and seeing people more in informal setting. जब आप formal setting में होते हैं, तो people are guarded. So these informal sessions, the frequency increased. और इसके बाद एक और चीज़ अली, what we started doing was smaller coffee sessions, where people can come and discuss in group. And I also spared some time every week where people can book time and have one-to-one discussion. So what I did was making myself more visible, more available, and then whoever wants to have one-to-one discussion, so they don't have to wait for long.
That's very important. I think one-to-one discussions can play a very good role in people opening up, because as you said, in formal settings, they don't really open up. So do you remember or recall any particular conversation in one of those one-to-ones, maybe a question without naming a person, anything that you can recall? What was that conversation like?
Most of the conversation were about their own self, where I will be, what will be my role, will I be doing the job that I am doing, will there be a new job, should I start looking for a new job, what kind of opportunity will I get. So it was more and more personalized communication, where people wanted to find out that how they will be in the new organization or the new setup. So that was more that I used to get. But one thing I think very, very important, that it's not one man who can make the difference. The management team that I had, they were also very, very, helpful in being present. They did not have the doubts. They themselves were self-assured, because it's not something that a single person can do. So the whole management team was very, very, not shying away in accepting what they didn't know, letting people know what they know, and then trying to, set aside the speculation. Because it's very, very important that you cut the noise and then focus at the job at hand.
Good stuff. So tell us about now where we are in terms of this acquisition and what's the way forward.
In terms of acquisition, we on 31st December 2025, we became a wholly owned subsidiary of PTCL Group. And then there was something unique about this transaction, where it needed to go through a certain regulatory process before the amalgamation can happen. So one of that process has concluded. The other process, where a scheme of arrangement is ongoing, and hopefully within few months it will conclude, and then it will become an amalgamated company, and then we'll start a new chapter.
So will the brand of Telenor Pakistan will continue to exist?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good stuff. So what are the key lessons that you have learned from this leading through these turbulent times?
Few lessons. One is that I keep saying this, what we did, Ali, when this transaction was happening, the financials that we had, 2 years down the line, we were looking at 8 to 10% degrowth. And this is normal in any transaction because of uncertainty, because of investments drying out. Usually you either maintain or you degrow. What happened, which is, something very, very rare, we in last 2 years after this deal was announced, we grew by 30%. Our top line grew by 30%. This is something which is very, very rare. And this also tells about the resilience and the character of the company. So this is something that, if you ask me what we started doing in last 2 years, we stopped looking at limitations. We started focusing on possibilities. So when you start focusing on possibilities, things start appearing. So this is one thing. Second thing is that we were very, very honest with the communication. So if people don't trust you, people don't believe you as a leadership team, people don't give their 100%. So this is also something that we as a group managed very, very effectively, I would say, where the communication was very open, very transparent. The third thing, which is also important, is that we re-looked at all things we were doing, our strategy. And we call it reset strategy, where we said that whatever we were doing, let's try something different. So, for example, we stopped chasing the customer growth. We started looking at how we can, give more or better customer experience to our customers and how we can capture more value. So this required a total rethink of our strategy, a very bold strategy which we executed, and like I said, that this helped us grow in last 2 years. So these are the 2-3 things that we did, which I think contributed a lot to where we are today.
Good stuff. And lastly, before I open it for the audience, I should have asked it before this question. Was there any time during this phase when you lost your sleep or the biggest challenge you faced in this?
No, I think I sleep very well. So I am an early riser, and like I said, that for me, when we cross the bridge, we'll see what happens. So I don't think too long into future. It doesn't mean that we don't plan anything, but I'm not personally too much worried what will happen in the future. So I sleep very well. To this day, I sleep very well. And if you call me after 10, it's quite likely that I will be sleeping.
Good stuff. What was the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge, again, like I said, that is challenging the stuff that you have been doing for last 20 odd years. The reset strategy. Re-looking at everything that you were doing, re-looking at everything that has worked, and then challenging the status quo. And then having this belief that you can make it work, taking some very bold steps. So that was, I think, and that made the journey very, very interesting also. And this is also something that I think now the platform that we have with the two companies amalgamated, the scale is there. Then great talent is there from both companies. So when you combine all these two things together, this should benefit the overall industry in Pakistan. This should benefit the overall ecosystem in Pakistan. And with 5G coming, I think there are some really exciting stuff that is out there. And if we are bold, if we are daring, I think there are even good times to come.
Awesome. Great stuff. So guys, over to you guys now. I would love to ask, you guys need to ask questions now. So let's share the mic with them. So anyone who would like to go first introduce yourself. Where do you work? What sort of work you do? What's your name? And then please ask a question.
Adil Sabbi, chartered accountant from KPMG. I just wanted to ask about the transition. That how do you value the people who did not shy away from the transition and who were there for the company rather than their personalized, discussions?
Adil, this is a very interesting question. If I talk very, very openly and transparently, if people are not growing professionally, they will not, good people will not stay. So it's very, very important that people grow professionally. And what they are doing also contributes towards the organization growth. So in this period, when you are, like I told you, that when you do daring stuff, when you challenge the status quo, this also helps you grow. So your confidence grows, your own belief in your ability grows. And then when you see that whatever you are doing is also bearing results, you go from strength to strength. So it was very, very important that people keep on, improving their competence, keep on building their competence. At the same time, they are contributing towards the organization. When these two combinations are in, right sync, only then good people stay. Otherwise, if organization is growing, they are not growing, they will choose to leave. If organization is not growing, they are growing, they are not challenged enough, they will also leave. So this is a very important combination where organization is growing and people are also growing. When I say growth, it's not that they grow in hierarchy, it's in the competence and it's, their own ability, how much they build up over a period of time. And then eventually the hierarchical growth comes later.
During this time, it's almost 17 years I'm been at Telco, and all around they revolving around the telco industry. Well, sir, I'll be well prepared. I just came up with 14 questions, but not I cannot ask, of course, all of them. But there are a few things that, sir, since you have been talking about the leaderships and the challenges, uncertainty that you have been faced so far and you have been gone through, what mindset has helped you most while navigating uncertainty and transformation in leadership?
I also talked about when talking to Ali, look at possibilities, not at limitations. Your energy, your focus, your thoughts, everything goes where you are thinking. If you are thinking about limitations, you will start looking at what can go wrong. You will start looking at what will not be done. And we do not live in an ideal world. You will never have 100% possibilities, you will not have 100% limitations. So when you start focusing on possibilities and you first focus on very short, low hanging fruits or shorter return, and as leader, when you embark on those, it builds your confidence, and most importantly, it builds the confidence of the team, where they see what you are doing is bearing results. So it will go from strength to strength. So it's very important again to look at possibilities, focus on possibilities, not on limitations.
What trend in telecom do you think people are underestimating today?
I think they are underestimating how much we have changed. The impact on the society is huge. Can you imagine your life without a cell phone connection today? Your lifestyle revolves around it. For example, I also give this example. I traveled across this country, and there are people in Pakistan sitting in far-flung areas, and usually the bread earner is somewhere outside. They are either working in big cities or they are abroad. Today, they can connect to their families just with the push of a button. And if you go back 20 years, probably you will have to write a letter to get to know someone. Today, if somebody is outside, they have a newborn, they can actually see their newborn on video call. Just see the amount of change that we have brought. Then we are a little bit behind when it comes to digitalization. But today in modern economies, you don't have to carry your wallet. All your payments, everything can be done through phone. Just one example. So we in this industry are helping grow the economy. We are helping digitalize the economy, making it easy. If you will never have 100% possibilities, you will not have 100% limitations. So when you start focusing on possibilities and you first focus on very short, low-hanging fruits or shorter return, and as leader, when you embark on those, it builds your confidence, and most importantly, it builds the confidence of the team, where they see what you are doing is bearing results. So it will go from strength to strength. So it's very important again to look at possibilities, focus on possibilities, not on limitations.
Assalamu alaikum. Myself Rehan Ahmed. I've been into telecom and technology and other industries for almost 25 years now. अवैस साहब से बस एक quick question है. अवैस साहब, very delighted to see that Telenor has been actively, giving back to society as well. So we have seen your initiatives into climate change, carbon emission, reducing carbon emission, and there have been some use cases as well. And when I went through the event that you did recently, I realized that a lot of significant achievements were there as well. So my question is it like your personal passion, or is it like Telenor was pushing into it, and how Telenor or yourself would like to continue giving back to the society after this everything that is happening these days?
This is part of the Telenor, where all business units were mandated to contribute towards the society and also contribute towards the climate. And this is also my personal passion, because the country that we live in is unfortunately at the forefront of the climate change. And we have seen in last few years devastating rains, flash floods, and we have also seen a very unpredictable climate. So we, as a responsible industry, we have to look at the climate and we have to contribute positively, because at the end of the day, it is going to impact all of us. So I think it's very, very important and very, very pertinent that industry is looking in this direction. We need to gather more steam. We need to gather more pace. And then we also need help from the stakeholders in achieving the ambition that we have, that we do not have any adverse impact on the climate, because this will impact the complete society.
So you say it will continue?
It will continue. It has to continue. And it has to continue for the whole industry.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Sheldon. I'm a tech entrepreneur, worked with Telecom for a very long time as well. Almost as long as you, so I guess I'm also a dinosaur. So, so everyone's asked you about, the downside and upside of the merger. So I'm going to go back to, the early 2000s when Telenor actually commercially launched. Telenor was definitely the game changer, and they disrupted the market. And I think all the operators that were existent didn't know what was coming. So I'd like to hear your view on that, being part of the team, the passion that drove you guys. What did it feel like when you guys launched DJuice and TalkShock, and the impact, like you said, it had on the consumer? So how do you see that? If you just go back 20 years, what do you think? How did you feel at that point in time? What was the passion in the team, and what drove that to success?
I think the biggest you can say advantage was that people were empowered to come up with ideas. People were empowered to implement. So back then, you cannot have all the ideas top down. You have to trust the people. You have to empower the people. And doing that, you will also have to embrace some of the mistakes that people make. If you start reprimanding people on the mistakes, then people will stop being innovative. So innovation or giving empowerment has two faces. One, as a leader, you have to let go of the power. You have to empower people, and then the magic happens, because there are very good people. They when they find the room, they will come up with new ideas, new innovations, new ways of tackling the same problem. At the same time, as a leader, you have to be prepared that there will be things that will go wrong. And when things go wrong, you don't reprimand the people, but you will try to find what went wrong, how it went wrong, and then you don't repeat the same mistake. So that's very important. And going forward, I think this will continue, because we are just at the threshold of launching 5G. We are at the threshold of launching a new ecosystem. And then the good thing about this merger is that you get the scale. What you can do as 40 plus million customer base, and when you combine two companies together, what you can do with 70 plus customers, that is something which is going to be significantly different, significantly better, significantly healthier for the industry. When you are in a growth phase, it's important that you have many players. But when you move towards a mature, industry, then the scale matters. And scale is very, very important. If we still had 6 operators that we had in 2004, the pace of rollout would have been very, very slow. So now with 3 operators, pace of rollout will be faster. Just giving you one example. So this is what the benefit that the scale brings. So I feel very excited that there are a lot of exciting things to come in future, because now the scale is there.
Great. So with the recent shift towards DSPs in the telecom sector, Do you think that's going to impact the ARPU, the challenge that all the operators have had over the years in Pakistan, being one of the lowest ARPUs globally? Do you think shifting towards DSPs, that will have a major impact?
I think this has more to do with the, you want to compete on price or you want to compete on products. This is one. The second thing, industry was also not helped by devaluation. So because we buy equipment in USD, we have to import the equipment. But we earn in PKR. So any devaluation adversely impacts this industry. So if we have a stable macroeconomics that we had till now, it will help improve the ARPU levels. Once the ARPU level improves, then the investments can get bigger and bigger. And once the investments get better and bigger, then the service quality starts improving. So it's a cycle.
Okay, so one last question. So we spoke about customers. We didn't speak about the internal customer that Telenor had. I remember everyone from every industry wanted to join Telenor in the early 2000s, and you would know that more than anyone else. So, growing into that ecosystem, how do you think is going to impact you in the future decisions, and how important the internal customer is for future growth of any organization?
No company can succeed if its employees are not motivated. So that's the very first thing that I talked, that as a leadership, when we were going through this transition, the most important thing was to connect, make yourself available with the people, try to be very honest, very open and transparent with them. And I don't see any reason not to continue this one. So this is going to be the mantra going forward. And unless your employees or your internal customer, as you call it, they are not happy, they are not motivated, good things will never happen. Because it's the same vendor which supply the same equipment to everyone. It's the people that make the difference.
Yeah, so there was one other part to this question, that, since you guys were leaders in, making employee engagement very successful, not just in telecom, all over Pakistan. So how are you going to take that forward, that legacy? How do you think you can take that forward and build a brighter future for more employees coming into the system?
I think this is a straightforward thing, because what we are doing along with our colleagues on the UFON side, this is going to be one of the key differentiators when it comes to taking a prominent position in this telco. So this to me is a no-brainer. This is something that we have to carry forward. We have to now gather strength with colleagues from the other side coming, and continue with this journey.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Azhar Ghani, I think over 2 decades of telecom and technology experience. From the time that 3G came, the growth in Pakistan halted in terms of technology that came in. और उसकी वजह से there was a lot of I would say setback in the industry that I don't see us recovering till now, even though now the Pakistan market was never a 5 operator market, it's now down to 3 again. But those 3 is built, or I would say is comprised of cannibalism more than a natural growth or a natural progression. So due to that, I would say I don't see any positive improvements in the telecom industry in the coming foreseeable future, even though that 5G is coming in. But again, it's very late for Pakistan. World is moving ahead. So how do you see us recovering or getting to a certain area where we are somewhere respectable in this terms?
You are saying has certain merit, but I give you another perspective. Somehow macroeconomics impacts this industry a lot. The era that you were talking about, macroeconomics were very, very stable. And everybody was growing, everybody was happy. Industrial base is not going, macroeconomics is not strong. You will not have the opportunity. Similarly, if economies are growing and there are lots of opportunities coming, being telco, we have to be there. For example, in Pakistan, IoT solutions are not scaled up to a level they should have. In Pakistan, there is not a single private network. You can automate complete port through a private network. It can make the port very, very efficient. In mining, you can automate all the mining sector through private network and IoTs. So these are areas which as a country we need to grow, and as we grow, this industry will grow. And we cannot blame the regulator. We also went into price war as an industry. And price war is a negative sum game, not in a zero sum game. So that's why I keep saying that we have to compete on quality, we have to compete on services. And then macroeconomics, if favorable, I see good times ahead. I see a lot of good times ahead. And if you compare across the border, we had better macroeconomics, the industry was healthier. As the macroeconomics deteriorated, industry there took a different turn, and here it's very different. So all industries, not just telecom, all industries are linked with macroeconomics.
Acha sir, there was a lot of chatter about legacy. So I want to pick a little more on that. I want to know about your opinion and feelings actually. Telenor has been a legacy organization for the customers as well as the internal customers too. DBR, digital birth registration देख लें, नया आगाज type programs देख लें, परवाज देख लें, and then the whole association with and introducing diversity in the Pakistani market as well. So many introductions were made in the Pakistani market. How optimistic are you that the same gap will be filled with the future MergeCo? One. And number two, any particular project that you've been very proud of yourself looking back the past 2 decades?
I think, Ali, like I talked earlier, the importance is to empower people. The idea of digital birth registration or parvaz or this didn't come from somebody sitting at the top. It came within the ranks because people were empowered. And I don't see any reason not to empower people. So I am quite optimistic that with more people coming, with different perspective coming, all we need to do is empower people. If we empower people, brighter ideas will come, some will fly, some will fail. And that we will have to live with. So I don't see any reason not to be optimistic. And second part was?
Any particular project that you look back to and you feel very proud of?
No, I'm still looking for something.
Still finding that. Yes.
Still finding something.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
All right, so my name is Raminer Salan. I joined Telenor back in December. This is technically my first role. I am a fresh graduate at this point as well. I've had a great time at the company so far, and I hope to learn more as well. But my question from you is that you have been associated with the brand for about 2 decades, like we were talking about. So how do you personally feel about the brand leaving Pakistan now? And what are the thoughts that come to your mind? Because I understand that there must be an association with that brand. So how do you personally feel about that?
Very interesting question. And people do ask me this question, and I give them one analogy. When you drive the car, you don't look in the back view mirror. If you keep looking in the back view mirror, you will bang the car. So the thing that I want to highlight is that there are always opportunities. And this is exactly what we did in last 2 years during transition, where everybody accepted us to either maintain or go down. We grew by 30% in last 2 years, if I combine these 2 years together. So the important thing is that look at the opportunities, look at the future. Past, very good, excellent time, it's gone. So if you start living in past, you will miss out on future. So it's very, very important for all of us कि वो जो हमारी उर्दू की कहावत है ना, वो बहुत ठीक है कि पीछे मुड़ के देखा तो पत्थर के हो जाएंगे. So the scale is going to be lot bigger in Pakistan. So if you are looking for opportunities, you will find opportunities. If you want to capitalize on those opportunities, you will have to work very, very hard. And then eventually good things will happen.
So, Awais, quite an engaging discussion so far. And I want to ask you something which I was thinking somebody from the audience would ask. So here I am. So I would like to know, what does Awais do when he's not working, managing
Yeah,
transitions and office?
Interesting. I love food, so I like trying new food whenever I can, and these are usually local specialities in smaller areas. I love traveling, so whenever I get time, I go up north, and I love photography. So when I get the opportunity, I get the camera, get on with few friends and go out. So I love nature. I love जिसे आप कहते हैं ना आदम बेजार, nature हो in its pristine form, and then I like to spend time. So this is what I do when I'm not working.
Awesome. Great. Thank you very much, Awais. That was an engaging, interesting conversation with you. And I'll take the benefit of Awais's basically talking about nature and peace and traveling to the north. There's one project that I'm involved with that's called Brook, and it's in Skardu. So अगर आप लोगों को इत्तेफाक हो स्कर्दू जाने का, नॉर्थ में, the season is now open. So do check out Brook, BROQ. That's a resort in Skardu. And one of my partner is being managed actively by my partner who was based out of US, but he travels back and forth. So he's created a magic. And then obviously we have got team on the ground to take good care of you. So please do check out Brook. Other than that, I think we're done. And I would really request everyone to move to cafe to have some gupshup over there, some conversations. I would like to thank Awais once more for coming and for the audience to ask quite interesting questions. I'd like to conclude with this final thing that basically when we started AS People, it's about bringing these conversations to life, which we don't normally get a chance to experience in Pakistan. People who have been through extraordinary circumstances, people who have been at the top of the game, have been through difficult times in their lives, and how life changed them, transformed them. So one of these stories was today, where we heard about Telenor's transition from Awais. So if you haven't checked out other episodes, it's on AS People YouTube channel. So I'll give the link in the description as well. So please do check out the previous episodes as well, and do subscribe to the channel, support us. These are early days, and all of you have you must subscribe, and also please spread the message wherever you go to friends and family that they should check us out as well. And thank you very much for having us today, sharing this session with you. We are at the studio at Legend 46, which is a creation of Takhleeq developers, and it's in Islamabad. So check us out. The purpose of having this conversation from here was basically to share that Legend 46 is a place where we bring in these conversations to life. And this is where we wanted to create an ecosystem where not only you have excellent Oasis living apartments, service apartments, other than that, you have a cafe, so you can work from there all day long as well. You can have nice burgers and all. And then if you want to work, you can have the office space at the first floor, where we have the studio as well. So that's all from today. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye now. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Awais.
Thank you.